Hi, this is Daryl Myatt from Keller, Texas. Today is Friday, July 10th, 2009. Yay, it's Friday again. Hey, I want to talk to you today about some things they've discussed at this G-8 summit over in Italy. The G-8 is 8 countries that are, pretty much world leaders. It includes the United States, Britain, France, Germany, Italy, Canada, Russia, and Japan. These countries are all getting together. Some of the things they've talked about is global warming. The things going on with global warming. They're talking about global currency. Several other things. They're talking about what to do with Iran, North Korea, things like that. But something that's a little disturbing. China criticized the dollar. Dai Bingguo, who is standing in for the Chinese President Hu Jintao at the G8 meetings, raised questions over the dominant role of the dollar as the world's reserve currency. The discussion took place among the leaders of 5 emerging economies and the G8 industrialized nations, including Barack Obama, and this caused concern among the Western leaders. We should have a better system for reserve currency issuance and regulation so that we can maintain relative stability of major reserve currencies exchange rates and promote a diversified and rational international reserve currency system, said Mr. Dai, according to the Chinese Foreign Ministry. While he didn't single out the dollar, he was clearly calling for the world to diversify its reserve currency system and stabilize exchange rates among leading currencies. And China has made a series of attacks on the dollar in recent months and went as far as to question Hillary Clinton, the U.S. Secretary of State, about the trustworthiness of the currency on her visit to China earlier this year. Now, China holds nearly $2 trillion of foreign debt, most of that being in U.S. dollars, and it has expressed its displeasure at the U.S. government's huge deficits and the Federal Reserve's monetary policy. Beijing wants the U.S. to feel obligated to sustain the value of China's assets. So China is basically trying to protect themselves, and they are also saying, we need a new currency. Well, listen to this. Today, Russian President Dmitry Medvedev illustrated his call for a supranational currency to replace the dollar by pulling from his pocket a sample coin of a united future world currency. Here it is, Medvedev told reporters today in Italy after a summit of the group of 8 nations. You can see it and touch it. So he actually held up a coin and said, here is the new world currency. The coin, which bears the words Unity in Diversity, was minted in Belgium and presented to the heads of G8 delegations, Medvedev said. The question of a supranational currency concerns everyone now, even the mints, Medvedev said. The test coin means they're getting ready. I think it's a good sign that we understand how interdependent we are. Medvedev has repeatedly called for creating a mix of regional reserve currencies as part of the drive to address the global financial crisis while questioning the U.S. dollar's future as a global reserve currency. Russia's proposals for the G20 meeting in London in April included the creation of a supranational currency. Okay, why is this important? Well, I'll tell you. They're working on a one world currency. Okay, well, how do you regulate a one world currency? Ask yourself that. The only way to regulate a one world currency is with a one world government. Okay? We already have the World Health Organization. We have the World Bank. We have so many different world groups. We have the World Court, which has supremacy over national sovereignty. We have seen heads of state being taken to this one world court for atrocities, crimes of war, and other things, and they supersede any national sovereignty. So, what do you think these people are meeting for? They're meeting for a way to create a world government so they can control the entire world, not just one nation. That's what we're going toward. The Bible clearly says that. So let's think about money. Is money important in our economy? You better believe it. It drives the economy. Will it be important in God's economy when Jesus Christ comes and rules for 1,000 years in His heavenly kingdom on earth? I don't know. We may not need it. We may go to something else. I really can't answer that question. So I just wanted to go to the Bible and see what the Bible said about money. So let's get into the Word. Let's go to Ecclesiastes 5:10. It says, "Whoever loves money never has money enough. Whoever loves wealth is never satisfied with his income. This too is meaningless. As goods increase, so do those who consume them. And what benefit are they to the owner except to feast his eyes on them?" Interesting point of view. Let's go to Ecclesiastes 10:19. It says, "A feast is made for laughter, and wine makes life merry. But money is the answer for everything." Now, what do you suppose he meant by that? This could be read at various levels, as a wry comment on human values, as sober advice to earn a good living rather than have a good time, or stating the great versatility of money. I really don't know. It's strange that that particular passage is in there, though. Let me go to Matthew 6, verse 24. "No one can serve two masters. Either he will hate the one and love the other, or he will be devoted to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve both God and money." You can't serve them both. Which one do you serve? Now I know. I'm in the same boat as all of you. I have a mortgage. I have 2 car payments. I've got a wife and 3 kids. I've got all the usual bills: gas, phone, electric, cable, water. I have all those. We need money. We have to have it to pay our bills and to have the things we want. But you have to stop and ask yourself what importance you put on it. And do you live your life only to make money, or do you live your life to serve God? Let's go to 1 Timothy 6:10. I'm sure everybody's familiar with this verse, although a lot of people misquote it. 1 Timothy 6:10 says, "For the love of money is a root of all kinds of evil. Some people, eager for money, have wandered from the faith and pierced themselves with many griefs." Now you'll hear a lot of people misquote this, saying that money is the root of all kinds of evil. Money's not the evil. It's the love of money that is the root of all kind of evil. People steal and kill and do all kinds of evil things to obtain it sometimes. Let's go to Hebrews 13:5. And that says, "Keep your lives free from the love of money, and be content with what you have. Because God has said, 'Never will I leave you, never will I forsake you.'" So we say with confidence, "The Lord is my helper, I will not be afraid. What can man do to me?" Neither will I leave you, neither will I forsake you. Okay, so we're going to see a lot of things like this happen, and we're going toward that. We are going to see so many Bible prophecies being fulfilled in the very near future. And the one world currency, the one world government, this is part of it. Let me finish today with Isaiah, verse 9. Isaiah 9, let's start with verse 6. "For to us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government will be on his shoulders. And he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Of the increase of his government and peace there will be no end. He will reign on David's throne and over his kingdom, establishing and upholding it with justice and righteousness from that time on and forever. The zeal of the Lord Almighty will accomplish this." That's a great word. I've had some people tell me that Jesus isn't coming to establish a kingdom on earth, and he's not going to reign for 1,000 years, but it's in the Bible. So I'm going to believe the Bible before I'm going to believe some scoffer telling me I'm wrong. Anyway, God bless you. Get into the Word. Next week I am going to attempt to bring you a series on the book of Revelation. Now, I understand that 10 minutes a day for 5 days will not do justice to the book of Revelation. So I may end up having to bring 2 messages a day just to cover enough to try to help give you a clearer understanding of the word of Revelation. So, and of course, if there's any important world news that comes up, I'll cover that as well. So, God bless you, and good Lord willing, I'll see you on Monday. Take care. Have a great weekend.